Welcome back to the Nutrition Made Simple podcast, powered by Healthy Steps Nutrition. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach. We know that helping you become the best and healthiest version of yourself isn't just about what you eat or going to the gym a few hours a week. We focus on a holistic framework addressing stress management, mindset, lifestyle, sleep, support system, and of course, exercise and nutrition. My name is Nicole Coyne, and I'm one of the dietitians and the founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of the Healthy Kids Cookbook, 100% kid-approved recipes the entire family will love. You can find it on Amazon. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to take one step at a time to making health a way of life. Today's podcast guest is Amanda Haar. She's the lead dietitian at our Healthy Steps Nutrition HQ location and a frequent guest on this podcast. She specializes in hormone health and helping kids and families get healthy together. Today's episode, we are talking all about a beginner's guide to meal prepping. When you think about getting healthy, when you think about eating healthy, you need to set yourself up with a plan for success. And prepping some staples for the week can truly help you make it simple and stay on track for the week. In this podcast, we talk about what you need, some simple tips so that you are not spending all day in the kitchen, and make sure you stay tuned until the end where I talk about some of my favorite freezer recipes. We're also going to link some of the easiest Healthy Steps Nutrition recipes in the show notes. I hope you enjoy this podcast episode, and we will get to it right after this message. Are you looking for a coach to help you? Are you looking to get healthy this year, but you're unsure where to start, and you're really looking for a simple plan? Well, once, maybe twice a year, we host a 28-day nutrition challenge at Healthy Steps Nutrition. There is an in-person and virtual option. We are so excited to be launching this year's 28-day health, wellness, and performance challenge on February 4th. Individual meetings will start the last week of January, and we are so excited to get 30 people, that's right, only 30 spots available, paired up with one of our registered dietitians on staff, as well as the group support. So here's what to expect. Weekly videos talking about nutrition tips, talking about healthy recipes, and addressing that holistic framework, looking at sleep, support system, and lifestyle. We're also going to be talking about performance, not only performance in the gym, but also performance to help you become the best and healthiest version of yourself. You're going to have individual meetings with a dietitian at the beginning, a check-in in the middle, and an individual meeting at the end. If you are ready to take the next step and invest your time, energy, and resources into your health, this is a great way to kickstart your journey to health. Of course, we will have individual coaching and ongoing support after the challenge is over, and that will be available to you. So click the link in the show notes and get locked in today, or you can go to hireanutritioncoach.com and find a Healthy Steps Nutrition coach near you. We hope to see you in our 28-day nutrition challenge starting on February 4th. Make sure you lock in your spot today. There are only 30 spots available. Let's get to this episode, a beginner's guide to meal prepping. Amanda, welcome back to the Nutrition Made Simple podcast. It's been a while.
It has been so long. It's so exciting to be back here in this space with you.
I'm so excited to be talking today about meal prepping. It's the new year. Everyone wants to get healthy in the new year. We're recording this on January 12th. People are probably still doing pretty good with their New Year's resolutions, although some people probably didn't make it out of the first week of January. But for the people who are doing well, one of the secrets to success is prepping some food on the weekend or a day that you have some space and some time to set yourself up for the week. And a lot of people are new to the kitchen. So I want to talk today about what are the basics of meal prepping for beginners.
And I love that for each person, and I've seen this with a lot of clients that we've worked with, this looks a little bit different for everyone based on your schedule, based on your personality type. So really, I love that we're going to go through really the essentials that anyone can use. And then from there, you can tailor that to what that looks like in your regular schedule.
I think when people think of meal prepping, and the way I pictured it back when I was in school or just seeing people on Instagram is like spend all day in the kitchen, and then you have like all these things lined up and it's the same thing, rice, broccoli, and chicken every day. And it's really boring. And then that idea is like, I don't want to do that. And then they just don't do it. But meal prepping doesn't have to be that way. It could be fun. It could be easy. You don't have to spend an entire day in the kitchen to prep some things and get yourself up for success. I'll give you a great example. Our kids work out with us in the morning before school. They're in middle school now. It doesn't start till like 10 o'clock, 9:30, but it starts super late. You go to the gym at 7 o'clock. And one of the things that we do the night before is we make overnight oats together. It takes less than 10 minutes. But what happens is when we get home from the gym, we all have to shower, make lunches, get ready. And it's so easy for them to just pull that out and eat. Within 2 minutes, they're done with breakfast. It's so simple. But if they don't have that, then we're making something from scratch and it's extra time and causes us delays. Maybe our listeners are not working out at 7, but they feel rushed in the morning and they can relate to wanting to have something that is going to make it easy and less stressful for everyone to set themselves up for success to have a great morning.
I love that. It's kind of like you're planning, when do you have margin in your day, which sounds more like in the evening time where you can spend a little time cooking a meal and you know that you don't have much margin in the morning, right? It's like that foresight of planning that out. I love that. For our family, it looks actually kind of similar. We love the overnight oats or the Amish oatmeal. My son can actually predict when I'm going to make Amish oatmeal because if he sees me mixing oats and eggs in a bowl, he's like, "Oh, we're having Amish oatmeal tomorrow." Or we might do like something quick in the morning, like a smoothie bowl, a balanced smoothie bowl. And then we kind of prep lunches at night too. So really for me, like the only meal I have to do during the day usually is dinner time, or I make a big batch of dinner and then I don't even have to do that some days. So it's really fun to kind of see how with different schedules, different families, this might look different, but it's all the planning and the foresight that makes all the difference.
You brought up a really good point of margin. So for you, you might have a little bit more time in the evening to be able to make fresh dinners. For other people, they might have a little bit more time in the morning. So breakfast isn't a problem, but you don't have time in the evening and having dinners prepped ahead would be super helpful. So as you're thinking about meal prepping, I think you need to figure out what is the meal that is the biggest struggle for me to make consistently and eat a balanced meal, and start there with what you're going to meal prep. So if it's breakfast, okay, let's start from the very, very basics when meal prepping. You want to have a balanced meal. Let's define what is a balanced meal. A balanced meal has protein, carbs, and healthy fat in it. So when we're thinking about meal prepping, we want to make something that's balanced that has all of those 3 macronutrients. Why? It's going to help stabilize our blood sugar. It's going to help keep us full longer. It's going to help with energy levels, mood. So many reasons why we want to have balanced meals. So once we figure out, all right, what are the meals that we need to prep? Then we probably should be thinking about what utensils we need. There are some fundamental things that make meal prepping so much easier. What are things that you recommend for new clients getting into meal prepping?
Right. So definitely having, the essentials, like, I mean, really those basic essentials that you probably like put on your wedding registry, like those things are really helpful. Like those muffin tins, we have quite a few like egg muffin recipes and protein muffin recipes, a mixing bowl, mixing spoon. One thing that is a couple really fun essentials that actually one of my clients recently said, like, I think I'm really going to invest in a crock pot, like light bulb for her. She's like, I used to have it. It was so super helpful. You can just turn it on, let it cook all day, right? So if you have time in the morning to prep, you can do that. And then an air fryer, like that is a fantastic one to get like crispy yet soft foods and like reheating things in there. It's just great, especially if you have like a smaller quantity that you're needing to make for meals.
I would say I was very late to the air fryer train. Very, very late. Like we only started getting into it a few years ago, but it is so good. If your kids like chicken tenders, for instance, great options to make things super, super crispy without frying it and adding a ton of fat from oil. So super awesome. A baking sheet, baking it so that you could do 1 sheet pan meals or roasted vegetables. Another great way to add veggies in. I think a lot of times when people meal prep, they forget the fundamentals of we want to have vegetables with every single meal, right? And sometimes we even find ourselves doing this sometimes is the pre-made salads are probably not the best option for getting in a ton of vegetables. If we could roast some vegetables and put a little olive oil and seasoning on there, it's going to be a much better option than getting a prepackaged salad dinner kit.
Right. And that's so side note, something that a lot of people don't really realize is even though we want 2 cups of veggies at meals, if we have a salad, we really want 4 cups of veggies, right? Because the leafy greens are less dense than a lot of other vegetables like bell peppers and things like that. So we really need a big amount of salad to make up that full 2 cups that we want with dinner. Yeah. And you were thinking about the space, right? And that's where, again, another thing in our family, air fryer comes in really handy. So if I have like a couple things in the oven, something on the stovetop, and I still want to cook some veggies, then that air fryer is just another tool, basically kind of like another space in your oven that you can cook with.
I love that. When you're thinking about the logistics of meal prepping, what you want to do is write out what you're going to meal prep. So, you've got the tools now. Now we're going to think about, all right, what does our schedule look like? What do we want for our meals? And what we want to do is we want to open up or go to a recipe page. You can go to the Healthy Steps Nutrition recipe page, or we have a Healthy Kids Cookbook, which is really fun to get kids involved with meal prepping and cooking. They can pick out one of the things that they want to make and help you make. What you want to do is you want to think about, okay, we're going to make a breakfast option, a protein option, a starch option, a veggie option. And how are we going to make those things? And what I would want to do is put the thing that's going to take the longest in first, right? So let's say we're making pulled chicken. The easiest pulled chicken recipe, chicken breast, taco seasoning, and salsa verde. We used to use red salsa, but salsa verde gives it a little tangy deliciousness, and it's very, very delicious. So we'll throw those 3 ingredients in the crock pot, right? Let that start cooking. And then let's say we wanted to do egg muffins, for instance. Egg muffins, another great recipe. We'll link all of these recipes in the show notes. So if you're listening and you're like, I want these recipes, we'll link them for you. Don't worry. In the egg muffin recipe, there's peppers in there. So what we would want to do is cut up our peppers before the egg muffins. We can slice up some for lunches, and then we can chop up some to then use in the recipe, right? So we're being as efficient as possible. That way you're not spending all day in the kitchen. You're spending maybe 2 hours at the most to prep a bunch of protein options, a breakfast option or 2 breakfast options, and then you have staples for the week.
And I love that the efficiency aspect of even planning your groceries with that, right? Like if you're using peppers in 2 different ways, like that's just going to be more efficient for your grocery money and also your grocery list too, which I love, especially with inflated food prices lately.
Right. No, I think an interesting thing about eating healthy and meal prepping, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll take peppers, for instance. We love having cut up peppers. We'll dip them in guacamole or just have them as a snack, like for lunches. Great option to add in vegetables, add in volume. And the reason why you'd want to do that is fiber, vitamins, and minerals is going to help keep you full longer and fill up your stomach so that you're feeling satisfied. At the end of the day, if you're trying to eat healthy or lose weight, you want to feel satisfied. You don't want to feel hungry. So the more you can fill your stomach up with volume that's going to provide you fiber, vitamins, and minerals, the better option it is for you, right? So peppers, let's go to this example. We'll go to Costco and they have 6 huge bell peppers, really great. They taste delicious. And if we do not chop them up when we get them, they likely will go bad, because if we're not already prepped and ready to go, and I can just go in the pan or in the refrigerator, pull out a bag, it's not as simple. And if it's not simple, like if it's not as easy, we're not going to do it. Right.
Right. And I love the sense of like finding out for you, when is that best time to dedicate some time to prepping vegetables? I know a lot of people love to do it like after they get home from the grocery store. So before they even put it away and go through all of that work, they're like, I'm going to prep these first, and then I'm going to go through the work of putting everything away. So then all of a sudden those egg muffins don't seem to take as long to make because you already have the hard work done.
Right. No, I think something interesting to think about, if you're like, Nicole and Amanda, I don't have time to do this, I would ask you, how much time are you figuring out every single day if you don't plan out for the week? How much time are you spending every single day? And how many trips to the grocery store are you going if you don't plan out your meals for the week? Likely a lot. There's even there's a lot of options that are healthy that are already made. So having staples, let's say you don't have time to like grilled chicken or whatever the case may be. Costco has rotisserie chicken that is delicious and super easy. There's quite a few recipes on the HSN website that use rotisserie chicken. You could grill it, or you could, grab the rotisserie chicken, and they have already done pulled chicken as well, where it's rotisserie chicken. They've already taken it off of the bones and have it packaged for you. So if you're like, I don't have time, that is a really great option, a great staple for you to make sure that you're having protein with every meal.
I am a huge fan of that. Like having some meals in your week that maybe take some time, you can make a bigger batch of, and then others for those nights where like I need to make dinner within 10, 15 minutes. For us, we love like the nitrate free, chicken sausages at Costco, or sometimes you can find them at our local grocery store. Just those things that that I can throw this on the skillet, make some veggies, maybe have whatever starch you have for a side, and then boom, you have a dinner that you didn't have to go out to eat. Because in my mind, a lot of times we go out to eat if we don't have anything planned, but going out to eat costs time and money, right? So definitely having those on hand as well as your prepped meals is going to be really helpful.
And you can think too, like if you like something, if you know you like it, why not do a double batch of it so that you can make it, put it in the fridge, and then all you have to do is reheat it. The simplest recipe we have on our website is egg roll in a bowl. It is so easy. It is 10 minutes to make. It is ground turkey, coconut aminos, and it is chopped coleslaw. You buy the bag of chopped coleslaw, no sauce or anything. You have ground turkey that you're heating up, and then you put coconut aminos in there. You could add shrimp or water chestnuts or some other things if you want to, but those main three ingredients, so easy, and it is really great reheated. So, what I would think, if you're a beginner with meal prepping, you want to do it simple. Start off with the super easy recipes, get a couple under your belt, get consistent and confident with those, and then add more things to your repertoire for meal prepping.
Right. And speaking of, gaining skills, even just knife skills in themselves, right? Like we had the pleasure of having food lab classes in college to become dietitians. For me, when I went to college, I didn't even know how to boil an egg. I knew nothing about cooking. So those classes were huge for me to not be really frustrated taking so much time in the kitchen. And I mean, we have so many probably demonstrations on YouTube, like people teaching us how to cut up different things. Like if you feel like cutting up an onion takes 15 minutes for you, just check out how you can, cut it up in a way that chefs probably do it in, half a minute or less. So really kind of just focusing on those knife skills can really decrease the time that you need for prepping.
I love that. Start small, get consistent. First step is get the tools that you need. The next thing is looking at planning. What are you going to have for the week? And then it is making a list, grocery shopping, and then setting out time. And I find that most of our clients are the most successful. And you mentioned this already, blocking out time right after they go grocery shopping, just get it done. So you don't have to go back every single day and start making stuff and prepping stuff. You can already have it done. And then all you have to do is just reheat it.
Right. Yeah. And I think, some of the recipes that we mentioned today are really great ones to start out with. Like you mentioned, if you needed a side and you're really not sure, if you're someone who doesn't like veggies very much, check out the under the side dishes on the HSN recipe webpage. Like the roasted broccoli is another thing that takes 3 ingredients with it. And if you grew up in a household where maybe your parents just boiled vegetables and served it to you like that, you might feel like you don't like vegetables, but the way that you cook them and season them make a huge difference between them.
Absolutely. There are 2 seasonings that we absolutely love in our house that we use on pretty much everything. Gibson's steak seasoning, and we put it on our roasted vegetables. And then also there's a truffle Parmesan seasoning from Casa that's really good. I'll link all this in the show notes for you guys, so it'll be super easy for you to find. But know that meal prepping doesn't have to be complicated. You can keep it as simple as possible. Start small. Maybe you just start with prepping breakfast, and then you see and gain confidence with that and see how much time you're actually saving and how less stressful the mornings are because you have something already prepped. And then you start adding lunches and dinners and all the other meals. And then you realize, man, I can do all of this in 2 hours, knock it out. And then I don't have to worry about meals for the week. And you're really setting yourself up for success so that at the end of the day, when you're after a busy, long day, you can actually spend quality time with people you love.
Love that. That's the best part, isn't it? That anything being efficient, we just get to do more of what we really want to be doing and feel good doing it, right? Because you've prepped balanced meals. We want to feel good the rest of the day, and that's a great start for it.
I hope you enjoyed that episode, all on a beginner's guide to meal prepping. Hopefully you have some simple strategies so that you can take one step, invest a little bit of time on the weekend or whatever day works best for you to really set yourself up for the week. Now let's talk about a couple staple freezer recipes that we absolutely love and some easy things that you can buy at Costco. Trader Joe's has some really great frozen options. One of the things that we love is the stir-fry cauliflower. There's also a potato gnocchi, there's grilled chicken, there's mahi and shrimp patties all ready to go for you. But at Costco, there are some great fresh options. There is grilled chicken already done, rotisserie chicken already done in the back section. They also have grilled chicken individually packaged options. This is something that I send in my kids' lunches every single day. We also do the individual packages of guacamole so they can dip their grilled chicken in guac. They have awesome big packages of bell peppers that come 6 in a pack. If you are looking to increase your vegetable intake, roasted vegetables or even chopped up bell peppers are a really great on-the-go grab-and-go option. If you're chopping up some bell peppers, you can dip them in hummus or our favorite guacamole. Eating healthy does not have to be complicated. If you look and plan ahead, you really can set yourself up for the week. I hope you use these tips and make sure you click the link in the show notes so that you can get a simple and easy recipes from HealthyStepsNutrition.com. Don't forget, we do have that 28-day nutrition challenge launching on February 4th. We would love to see you there. If you happen to be listening to this episode after February 4th, we do have an individual coaching program where you get paired up with a registered dietitian or a nutrition coach, meet with them for an initial consultation in person or virtually, and then you have weekly check-ins every single week to help you make health a way of life. You can work with one of our HQ dietitians if you go to HealthyStepsNutrition.com, apply for coaching there, or you can go to hireanutritioncoach.com to find a Healthy Steps nutrition coach near you. I hope you are ready to take that next step so that you can invest your time, energy, and resources to becoming the best and healthiest version of yourself. We would love to help you. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. We'll see you back here next week.